The rat race will make you sick. So I can only talk from my experience and what I've been through in life and what I've experienced. So a lot of times my perspective is not for everybody. So a lot of times people cannot understand anything that I'm talking about because a lot of people are still being, programmed by this system, this matrix. And the matrix is real because, as I talked before, I said, what is the matrix? When you watch the movie, you can see that when you watch the movie, that when Morpheus is talking to Neo, Neo is saying to him that the matrix is a system, and he's saying to him, and he's telling him that it's like a splinter in your brain that you don't know what it is, but you know that there's something wrong out there in the world. So I used to feel that when I used to grind and work a 9 to 5. I used to be a painter and I did apprenticeship, and it was so difficult for me because I felt like, why am I doing this? I could feel like something was wrong, and I also felt like my inner guidance system and the divine and God, something was telling me that there was more to life than this, and working hard and giving it all out there. And I remember I used to be cleaning dishes at this restaurant, and I'd be cleaning dishes and I'd be thinking, what the hell? I'm giving it all, and it just feels like the manager doesn't care. I'd be in the kitchen doing this, and it just felt like it was just a burden. I remember working warehouse jobs, pick packing, and doing the same routine over and over again, and it just felt like meaningless. It felt like, what? Why am I here? There must be more to this, and that is the matrix. A lot of people giving it all, and it just feels like you just get sick, and there's a lot of people who just feel burnout after burnout. So I used to ask questions, how can I get out of this? So in 2020, I had another episode, had another meltdown, and I just kind of had enough of this. So things have changed since then, and a lot of times I had to, read a lot of I have read a lot of self-help books, but I just felt like that I always had this in me. I've always had this. A lot of self-help books have taught me that I really didn't need to read books because I really already had it, but I like to read anyway. But a lot of times it feels like that the rat race will always, create sickness in your life. And when I was in 2020, I ended up going to the psychiatric hospital because I just couldn't take it anymore, and it was just blowing my mind. It was just too much for me. So it just kind of revealed a lot of truth out there, and I just felt that God was actually speaking to me and telling me that there is more to life, and there's more to a higher purpose of what I got to do in life. So things have changed a lot for me, even though that I still go through new levels of challenges, new level of stresses, and that's the other thing, is that inspiration just keeps on coming, and you always have these kind of inspirations, and you have these new ideas, and that divine intelligence, which is God, which I talked a lot about in other videos, that the divine intelligence speaks to us and gives us a lot of inspiration about what's the next move that we should do, and what's the next idea we should do, and those ideas always kind of lead us to the next steps that we got to do. So that's your own divine that you have inside you. That's your own inner power that can help you and protect you from this matrix that's always demanding from you. So I just felt that working a 9 to 5, I felt that the rat race constantly is making people sicker. You can see it in the world, you can see it in the community, you can see it in life, that people are just had enough. teenagers know that the system is broken, so they just like they feel they have no future, so they just go out there and steal and run amok, and so many things that happen in the matrix is broken. So how do we get out of this? I always say to myself that, speaking from my experience, speaking from my perspective, I always try to go from within. I always try to find my inner answers. I always do my prayers, my affirmations. I always do what I got to do inside me. And I feel that when I work within, when I do the work from within, when I do that work from within, I also see a lot of changes in my life. And that's what I keep on doing, is the work from within. And once I keep going inside within myself, I also see a lot of external kind of changes in my life that kind of makes me want to just keep on doing that work from within, and just keep doing that inner work. And eventually,